how Bitcoin right now, markets go up some days and Bitcoin goes up. Other days, markets go up and Bitcoin goes down. All right, well, now you got to say to yourself, wait, so is it a risk asset or is it a safety hedge? Is it the digital gold or is it a risk on play? And it's going up and down on both of them. There's no identity here. And when there's no identity in something, that to me is concerning. Longer term, I'm a big fan of the bull case. I think it does grow into its identity. I think it is the digital gold. But you know what's happening right now, guys? The government is stifling it.
Gareth Soloway, the chief market strategist of InTheMoneyStocks.com, provides insights and forecasts for the stock market and Bitcoin in the coming days. Explore the intriguing insights of Gareth Soloway, chief market strategist at InTheMoneyStocks.com, as he challenges conventional wisdom regarding Bitcoin's trajectory. With a unique perspective, Gareth identifies Bitcoin as a risk asset and interprets its recent behavior as an indication of a potential market top, defying the prevailing notion of an upward trajectory. The future of Bitcoin remains uncertain, and price predictions have become a popular subject of debate. Some experts predict that Bitcoin could reach $100,000 by the end of 2023. Another prediction is that Bitcoin could experience a sharp decline to around $12,000. The most unbelievable prediction is that Bitcoin could skyrocket to $1 million by the end of 2023. Some experts believe that Bitcoin could stabilize and trade within a narrow range, such as $40,000 to $60,000 by the end of 2023. Another possibility is that Bitcoin could be superseded by another cryptocurrency, causing its price to plummet. Scott Melker, a well-known crypto enthusiast, initiated a discussion on Twitter suggesting that Miami's interest in cryptocurrency might be fading. The Bitcoin Miami 2023 conference saw a significant decline in attendance, leading to speculation about the city's commitment to the crypto space.
You know, there's so many people into crypto, and you look at crypto, and sure, you have the Pepes running and stuff like that, but if you actually look at the bigger crypto coins, the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, the Polygons, the Solanas, I'll tell you, if you want action, the action is in stocks. The move on Nvidia, a $700 billion company, moving up 30% on the day, approaching $1 trillion, that is almost unheard of. In fact, I've been trading for 20 years plus, in fact, started in 1999. And I don't know if I've ever seen something of that magnitude. I believe this would be the biggest move up market cap gain-wise of any stock in the history of the markets. Now, do I think this stock is overdone? Yes. That doesn't mean it's necessarily going to pull back immediately, but I will say this AI, they mentioned AI like 50 times in that conference call yesterday. Anytime a company mentions AI, you know what happens? It skyrockets. It's the secret word. It's the secret sauce. Go back to, basically back in 2017, any stock that said the word blockchain ripped higher. Go back even further. Any stock that said .com ripped up in the late 90s, early 2000s. So there are these kind of points that investors and these CEOs realize that if they can push a narrative, they can jack their stock price up. So I do caution you, all right? This is just like Bitcoin at 69,000. Be very, very careful. When everyone is hyping it up, when everyone's saying, oh my goodness, this is amazing, that's usually the time you want to be more cautious. We have some really interesting stuff on Bitcoin here. And honestly, I was bearish on Bitcoin before. I'm actually more bearish now, and I'm going to explain why. So number one, I've been talking about, first of all, let's go back about 3-4 weeks. When we were at 30,500, I came on this stream, I came on the game plan, and I said, guys, unless you get above this and hold above 30,500, this is a dead short, this is a bear market rally. All right, what happened? We pulled back. We pulled back to this level on the charts right here. We then bounced, we pulled back, we bounced. We then broke, and look at the bear flag we're making. Now, this is my problem. There's a couple things that I want to mention about Bitcoin. Number one, all right, I went to Bitcoin Miami. Attendance was down 43% at Bitcoin Miami. All right, this is one of the biggest events of the year for Bitcoin and crypto, and attendance was almost half of what it was the previous year. Now, is it partially that we're in a bear market? Well, maybe, but if you look back at when Bitcoin Miami was last year, price was only around 30,000 last year. So we were already well in a bear market, but there was, again, a huge amount of people. So you can't really blame it on the bear market. So the next thing that you would do is say, okay, well, is it the economy? And the answer is yes, it's probably partially the economy. Money is tighter for people. Inflation has taken a bite out of their disposable income. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so that could be a factor. But I also think one of the unthought of factors is that there's not as much excitement in crypto. And that's an issue. Crypto needs to have the excitement level. Now, if you go in our bubbles, the Twitter bubble, the Instagram bubble, of course you're going to have excitement, right? I mean, you're going to a specific area. But the fact that the government is holding back regulation is very, very problematic. And to me, that's a negative. Now, if we look at the charts are still negative, right? I mean, there's no denying this, all right? You have a bear flag right here underneath this resistance line right here, all right? And any sort of downside move, we actually will have a small stopping point around 24,800, but really the big level is going to be in the 23,000 range. So 23,000 to 24,000. That's going to be your buy level for a bounce.
China's digital currency raises concern as wages of thousands of public servants moves to ECNY. The digital yuan continues to make inroads into becoming widely utilized in Chinese society as the China Securities Regulatory Commission has officially approved the use of the central bank digital currency in the securities market. According to a report from the Chinese media outlet Securities Times, eligible investors can now use the digital yuan to buy off-site financial products such as public funds. The 90-day correlation between Bitcoin, the top cryptocurrency by market value, and Wall Street's benchmark equity index, the S&P 500, rose to 0.49. This means that when the S&P 500 goes up, Bitcoin tends to go up as well, and when the S&P 500 goes down, Bitcoin tends to go down as well.
But this is one of the most important things you'll hear on crypto, and it's fascinating. All right, so basically what you have in this situation is the government is doing a China playbook. And what I mean by that is remember, China came out and banned Bitcoin. After they banned Bitcoin, what did they do? They released the digital yuan. Why did they do that? Well, they didn't want competition for the digital yuan. They wanted the digital yuan to gain traction in their economy, and therefore then once the big players are using the digital yuan, Bitcoin is not as much of a threat. Well, guess what's happened? Now they're starting to loosen that regulatory control and that ban on Bitcoin because the digital yuan has the power. It's now embedded in the Chinese economy. Well, take it to the U.S. now. The U.S. is saying, yeah, well, and by the way, anyone who thinks that the Ripple decision isn't already made is like ludicrous. You think a judge really needs to sit for a year and think about things? I mean, really? I mean, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. So what that means is the government is saying, don't release this view, don't release your decision, and also we're not going to give regulation. By the way, Coinbase is suing them for regulation, so they can figure it out. They're threatening to leave the country. We've already seen, exchanges leave Canada because of this. But basically, look up FedNow. FedNow is a direct payment system that's going to be launching in literally weeks, I believe. And again, it'll basically be a Cash App equivalent or a Venmo equivalent. And it's the beginning of the introduction of the CBDC. And the idea here is very simple. It's the government is not releasing regulation because once regulation comes out, check this out. Once regulation comes out, then the institutions will get involved. Once the institutions put billions and trillions of dollars into crypto, you can't undo that. This next chart that I'm going to show you is going to show you how Bitcoin tops before the stock market. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to bring up one of these charts here. Take a look at this. This is your 2017 top on Bitcoin. Okay? 2017 top was December 17th of 2017. 4 to 6 weeks later, the S&P topped. 4 to 6 weeks later. All right? Next chart. Let's go to the next one. Boom. Here we have November 10th, 2021. Bitcoin tops. January 4th, 4 to 6 weeks later, the S&P tops. Okay? And we know what happened to the S&P, down 20+% after that event. Obviously, we bounced back. But again, that's something to keep an eye on. The reason why I'm bringing this to your attention is because what we see historically is that Bitcoin tops before the S&P. If this is correct, what it means is we are very close to an S&P top in the markets. Because again, about 4 weeks ago, you had Bitcoin topping at 30,500. Okay? That means that 4 to 6 weeks later, if this trend follows, we should see the US stock markets turn down. We're now at 4+ weeks. So basically over the next 2 weeks, look for a top on the chart of the S&P 500. All right.
Gareth Soloway, a financial strategist, expects a bearish trend on equity markets as the markets misinterpret Powell's intentions regarding rate cuts. The 90-day correlation between the top cryptocurrency and the S&P 500 has risen to its highest level since October 2020. What do you think the future holds for Bitcoin in terms of price and value? Will it continue to rise or experience a significant drop? To wrap up our discussion today, we invite you to leave your thoughts in the comments section. If you found this content useful, please show your support by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for the latest news and videos. Thanks for joining us.